Welcome back to the Infertility channel. It's the last Thursday of the month. We've started a new year, and today we're starting a new tradition on the Infertility channel. Every last Thursday will be a time that we read viewer mail. It is now Stump the Doctor time. My producer has a list of questions. These are hot off the press, apparently. I'm going to be receiving these. Thank you. Before I do these, let me tell you a story I was just thinking about. It's hilarious. 4 or 5 years ago, I had a patient in the hospital who had just undergone a large incision to have fibroids removed. She had 2 large fibroids removed, but she was on an OB floor. They didn't have any beds on the surgical unit or the GYN floor. And so the older nursing instructor and her eager young pupil came in and were checking her incision. And they said, well, were there 1 or 2? And she said, there were 2. Again, she was groggy under the influence of morphine, and so the nursing instructor, she says, oh, I bet they're so cute. And the patient said, no, they were ugly. One was big and ugly, and the other one was smaller and uglier. Oh. So she says, I guess they're in the newborn nursery? And the patient says, no, 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 they're not in the nursery. They're downstairs in the pathology lab in a bottle. And both of them put their hands over their mouths and go, oh, we're so sorry. And the patient says, well, I'm not. I was glad to get them out of me. And so the nursing instructor says, I'm going to call the chaplain to help console you. And the patient says, well, I'm really okay, but if you think the chaplain will help, happy to talk to him. So that's a misunderstanding. We're not going to have any misunderstandings today. I'm going to go straight to these questions. All right. Michelle, Springfield, Missouri. Are there any natural herbs or supplements that can help my infertility? Well, we've talked about this in a previous episode a little bit. We'd like for you to have a diet that's very rich in vegetables, the antioxidants, vitamins A, C, and E. And you want to get your prenatal vitamins, whether you get them naturally or through prescription. There is a brand of vitamins, natural vitamins, that I strongly recommend. You can get these on the internet. They're called Life Source vitamins. There are many supplements and many adjuncts that have been purported to help fertility. Most of that is like snake oil. I would probably recommend against those things. One of the current rages right now, it's called DHEA. That stands for dehydroepiandrosterone. DHEA can buy it anywhere. It's a weak androgen, a weak male hormone. And at least in the hands of this one group out of New York City, they're saying it might help patients who have decreased ovarian reserve. We have looked at the literature on that, and except for that one group, there's not a whole lot of studies, so I'd probably have you hold off on that and other supplements. We do recommend against Chinese herbs because most traditional Chinese medicine doctors don't even know what are in the herbs, so we'd have you hold off on Chinese herbs. Just a quick disclaimer, I have no connection with Life Source vitamins. I just think that they're the best vitamins out there. I also have no direct connections with any Chinese traditional medicine doctor. I'm probably going to have acupuncture pins like a voodoo doll by every TCM doc in the world. Okay, Raquel, Walnut Creek, California. Are there symptoms of infertility that I should be on the lookout for before I try to get pregnant? Well, the only symptoms really of infertility are lack of pregnancy. Now, there are many diseases that might cause symptoms that can cause infertility, but infertility is kind of a wastebasket term. So if you're not getting pregnant, you might start thinking about other symptoms you might be having. Abdominal pain, for example, if you might have had a growth in the uterus, abnormal uterine bleeding, abnormal periods, you might have lethargy, or you might have difficulty swallowing, or you might have headaches. I mean, any number of things, and we've talked about so many of these reasons on the Infertility channel already. But if you go back and review all the previous episodes, you're going to find a lot of symptoms from a lot of diseases that might account for your infertility. But really, if you think about it, infertility is the only diagnosis that a patient reliably makes in his or her own home. Everybody else has to go to the doctor to find out what's going on. You tell me what's going on. You come in and you say, I have infertility. So anyway, go back to the previous episodes. I think they'll help. Michael from Pasadena, California. Have you ever lost sperm or eggs? You mean me personally? No, so, have I ever lost sperm or eggs? The legal and professional implications of our misplacing sperm or eggs would be astronomical. No, we've never really lost any eggs or sperm. I like living in Central Florida. I don't want to be jettisoned to some little island in Indonesia. Okay, Julie from Seattle, Washington. My sister had several IVF treatments and none of them took. Now I'm thinking about offering to carry the children for her. Could this cause me any medical problems? Great question. Well, first off, I always want to hedge a bit and say they're great doctors in your city. So I'd consult one of them about this. But the short answer is that pregnancy is not without risks. Yes, you could have problems. Any pregnancy can have problems. So a lot of that depends upon your overall health going into pregnancy. Are you healthy? Do you have underlying diseases? Do you have things like heart disease, lung disease, kidney disease, liver disease? Any of those could adversely impact your chance of making it through pregnancy well. Are you overweight? Are you out of shape? Is your nutrition good? So these things have to be answered really before you should consider caring for your sister. So I think that's all I'm going to say about that. Could that cause any medical problems? Absolutely it could. This is Anne. Are infertility issues genetic? Is it likely that my child will have the same difficulties? The brief answer is that certain infertility problems are in fact genetic. So we talked about one recently about premature ovarian failure. That can run in families. We've talked about recurrent miscarriages. That can run in families. We talked about men who have deletions of their Y chromosome. That can be transmitted to sons. So there are a number of conditions, and that's just scratching the surface, a number of conditions that are in fact inherited that can be problems for future generations. I want to thank you all for this list of questions, and I hope I've not done anything that might get me booted from medical practice. Always read the disclaimer at the beginning and the end of the show, or wherever it is. I'm not your doctor. I just play one on the Infertility channel. So great seeing you. Hope to see you next week. And remember, the last Thursday of the month is Viewer Mail Appreciation Day, and I hope to read your question. Thanks a lot. See you next week. Be sure to share this video with your friends and subscribe to catch all new episodes each week here on the Infertility channel. Plus, follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I love hearing from you. Comment below or tell me what you want to see on future episodes by sending me an email to comments@infertilitychannel.org. Until next week,